Hey everyone, Happy New Year. Hope you're having a fabulous day. Ready to start the new year off right. I'm going to start out with a snowman card this year. I decided that I do snowmen because at my mom's house she has decorations for every month of the year. And so January is snowman month and it's winter, so I thought it'd be fun. And also I had a couple of unexpected gifts from some friends this year that I thought it would be fun to return something to them. So I thought I'd do this cute little card and maybe a package of some gourmet hot chocolate to go with it. So friends, warm the heart. So here we go. Let's widen my shot just a little bit. Hopefully the lighting outside won't throw things off too much. So I'm going to start out by pulling my Cuttlebug in and dropping it all over the floor. And my B-plate, you're going to notice one of them just looks absolutely awful. I did a lot of framelit cutting over the holiday. So I have an 8.5 by 5.5 piece of Marina Mist cardstock that I'm going to use for my card base. I just fold that as I didn't do that already. And I'm going to emboss with this embossing folder by Doris that's called Snowflake, and this is one that I picked up at Benjamin Franklin. So we'll go ahead and slip our card base inside. Oh, I'm such a nerd. How about this way? Through the front. There we go. And slip this in between our two B plates. And this is going to be really difficult to run through because my B plate has been ran through so much to do my framelits. So I've got some new B plates on order, but until they get here, this is going to have to do. So it's kind of a pain, but it still works. So we'll pull out our piece with the cute little snowflakes. Just love them. And I want these to stand out just a little bit more, so I'm going to grab some archival ink. This is called Moonlight White, and go over the top of my snowflakes just to help them jump out a little bit. Hopefully you're going to be able to see this on camera. Don't know how well my lighting is with so much light coming in through my windows in my craft room, so a bit up close. Just makes those snowflakes jump out a little bit more. So once we've done our base, we can set that aside for a minute and start doing our stamping. Now I recommend that you have a baby wipe or something on hand when you're going to be stamping a lot on white to keep your fingers clean. So here is a piece of Whisper White cardstock by Stampin' Up. I am not a Stampin' Up demonstrator, I just use their products. This piece measures 3.5 by 4 1/4. Wait, no. Yeah, 3.5 by 4 1/4. Actually by 4.5. I think I changed the dimensions on this one. So it's 3.5 by 4.5. So let's go ahead and get stamping, and the stamp pad pack that I'm going to use today is from Lawn Fawn, and this one's called Making Frosty Friends. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the large snowman. Now the key to being successful at this is keeping your fingers clean and keeping your stamp block clean. As you can see, my stamp block is dirty, so I'm already breaking a rule, but we're just going to go for it and hopefully everything will work out right. And if it doesn't, I've already stamped part of this. I can just pull that in case we don't have a good stamping experience here. All right, here we go. So I want this to be a little bit to the side. So there's our large snowman. I'm going to wipe him off real quick. I have a baby wipe in my lap, but you might not be able to see. And I'm going to wipe my block off and grab our small snowman. We'll go ahead and stamp, ink her up, or him up, whomever he or her is. And just making sure that my block is clean, as I can't really tell. I want to leave a little bit of space so that I can do some arms. I think I'm right about there. There we go. And then next I'm going to go ahead and put some scarves on. Now the scarves I'm actually going to paper piece, so basically I'm putting the scarf on for alignment purposes and so I can get the fringe on the bottom of the scarf. But if you were going to color your scarf in, then you would want to make a mask of your scarf first, and then put your mask on, stamp your snowman on, and then re-stamp your scarf. This way, I'll show you here in just a second what I'm talking about. Oh, nuts. Seriously? Do it again. This one does not have to be totally perfect as we're paper piecing over it, but oh, it's going to give me trouble. Where it's not stamped, I'm not going to worry about as I'm paper piecing, but ideally you could just do it over again. It looks like I missed part of the ink, but if you look in the middle here, you wouldn't want these lines of the snowman to be there if you're going to be coloring it in. So again, trying to mask is a good idea, and I'll do some masking in the future, but not today. Okay, so here we go. I'll try this again on the other snowman. Thank goodness for paper piecing, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Making sure my hands are clean. And here we go again. Nothing like stamping live, right? And get right about there. I'll pull that up. Scarf's a little to the side, which I think is cute. Cleaning off my stamp. I'll pull that out. And then I'm going to go ahead and add the little heart. Right to the side here. And one more little heart. Double check my block real quick. Really want to keep things clean, keep fingers clean, keep stamp block clean. I don't make any mistakes on our pretty white paper. There we go. So that's the majority. Oh, you know what? Let's do our arms. Totally forgot about the arms of our snowman. I'll do one of them kind of on the inside. Right about there. And then I'm going to stamp the same little arm again, but I'm actually going to cover part of it because I want it to be just a little bit smaller. So I'm going to grab some tape and block off part of my little arm here so the ink doesn't get on the entire thing. And then remove my piece of tape. Oops, got some right on the block. There we go, making sure my fingers are good. And then we'll do our little, looks like he's waving kind of, hi. And out there. And then we'll grab our smaller snowman arm. Do him. Hopefully my lighting is still okay. Actually, I'm thinking I'm going to switch my light on real quick here. Does that make it worse or better? Hopefully better. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and do the arms on our little guy. And I'm going to turn him just a little bit here. Let's see. I didn't leave myself as much room as I should have. There's one arm. And then we'll do our other arm. There we go. So cute. And then we can go ahead and do our paper piecing. So to do that, I grabbed two of the hats. I grabbed this little one right here and this little one right here. I chose out some patterned paper, and my patterned paper comes from the My Mind's Eye Winter Wonderland pack, and this is what it looks like. And I picked out 3 prints, 2 snowflakes and a polka dot print. So I'm just going to pull out the pieces. I've already gone ahead and stamped and cut them out just to save us a little bit of time. But basically you stamp out the hat on the patterned paper, cut it out, stamp it again on a little bit of a darker shade, and cut out the rim and the little pom-pom. And then for the hat, I just stamped that on some white cardstock, and I went ahead and colored him in with a black Sharpie marker to make him black. And then stamped him again on some pattern paper so that that little rim I could get in some polka dot paper. And then I stamped the scarf to match the pattern paper I used on the hats. So that's how I got these pieces. So we'll just go ahead and put them together. Grab some glue. So again, I did this for placement just so I could get that cute little fringe on the bottom. See, can't even see where I messed up with the stamping, right? Yay! All perfect. And we'll do our other little scarf. I was worried that I wouldn't be able to get it to stamp fine. Sometimes on camera I just make mistakes and can't keep my fingers clean when I'm stamping, or, you know, whatever the problem is, but I did do it. I did do an extra set of stamping just in case I didn't make it, but looks like we're doing okay. So now we have our scarves on. We'll go ahead and do the little guy's hat. And then for him I had the little rim that I cut out. Gives a little bit of contrast if you do some different pattern papers on the same little piece. There we go. And then the little pom-pom, I'm actually going to grab some tweezers to make it a little bit easier to place the pom-pom on because it's so small. And just put a little dab of glue in the back. There we go. And then we'll do our other little hat. We'll do some embellishments at the end that'll just really make this even cuter. Okay. And then his little band. Lots of paper piecing today, but I just love it. I think it looks so cute. There we go. All our paper piecing is now done. And now I'm going to grab two markers. I have two Bic Market markers. This one is Rambunctious Red and this one is Sunset Orange. Need to fill our little noses in with orange. You can use, I'm sure, whatever markers you have on hand. This is just some that I had that were nice and bright. To our little hearts. There we go. And then next I wanted to do a couple of snowflakes. And some of them I decided that I would stamp and punch out just to give a little bit of dimension. But I'm going to stamp them on here just for placement's sake. So I'm going to try and match my cardstock base here and use some, this is a Stampin' Up! Ink pad called Marina Mist, so it matches the paper, which I kind of love the matching thing. And there's my block. So I'm going to grab my largest snowflake first. Ink that up. And kind of place 3 big ones on here. I'll do one right about here. Doesn't have to be perfect on this one. Remember, we're putting a little thing over the top of it. Can't remember if I explained that I have a bubble on my mat from using a heat gun, and so I have to be really careful. Yay! Terrible stamping. Thank goodness we're covering them up. There we go. So I'm going to pop those up in just a minute, but let's do our other snowflakes. A medium-sized one. So again, those big ones are just replacement, so don't worry too much that they're not perfect, but let's try and do a little bit better with our other ones here. Medium, I'm thinking right about here. And here. Switch to the smallest one. Actually going to wipe my block off real quick, make sure it's staying clean. And we'll slip one in right here. And down here. And then about here. Looks good to me. And then for these little ones, I'm just going to grab some Pop Dots real quick and pop those up for dimension. Put them over Okay, there we go. Love the dimension. And we can go ahead and attach, actually, you know, I'm going to round the corners first, and then we'll attach this onto our card base and do a few more embellishments. So this is a Fiskars Corner Rounder punch I'm using. Actually, I'm going to do one more quick thing. I'm going to grab a Copic marker. This is BG10, and I'm just going to give my snowmen some ground so that they're not floating in the air. I'm not doing anything fancy, basically. I am just doing a little bit of shading here, just so they don't look like they're floating. And it's going to dry lighter than what you see here. Go. Okay, happy with that. So let's put that on our card base. Yeah, I'm just going to grab my ATG gun to do that. You can see on the back I was working on my stamping. But don't want to waste paper, so you get to see it. Okay, I'm going to go to the side just a little bit so I leave some room for some ribbon. Okay. Let's see, I got to leave room at the bottom for my sentiment. And I don't like that C. There we go. Right about there. And then let's do our sentiment and our bow, and then we'll finish up with our embellishments. So this piece of white, well, it's the Whisper white cardstock again, is 1/4 inch wide. The length just depends on the stamp that you're going to stamp with, so it doesn't really matter in the moment. So what I thought I would do is do the word warm in a different color. Grab my stamp here. So I'm going to cover the word warm with some tape so that I can do that in blue. If I can find my tape. Kathy's a little scatterbrained today coming back from the holiday here. Oh, there it is. Okay. And this will allow me to use some different colors in my stamping. So let's cover the warm up. Oops, this one's not quite big enough. A little bit bigger. There we go. And then we'll ink this up with some Memento Black, if I can find it. What you can't see probably is that my desk is a mess from all the projects I've been working on. And then I'll remove the tape. And go ahead and stamp our sentiment. There we go. And then I'm going to clean it off. And this time we will cover everything but the word warm. That in blue. So I was thinking a little bit about the goals I want to set for myself this year for the new year. And I was thinking, I think the one that I want to focus on is maybe balancing my time better. I think between work and church and church responsibilities and family. Well, family I shouldn't include in that list. Family is the one that I'm trying to give the most attention to, but so many other things going on that can be kind of hard to balance. That's one thing I think